Hey you, this is Carrie from Love Notes. I talk about all different tips to bring more fun and joy and goodness into love, sex, and relationships of all types. And I get into some of the, harder, heavier things too, how to move through that and move to the other side with some love, compassion, and acceptance. Different things that I learned in my own journey. So today we're going to chat real quick about one way that food can heal your trauma. Trauma is like such a big and heavy word, and it just, I don't know how it resonates for you, but it just like heavy trauma. Um, so I like to think of trauma actually just like a wound. It's a wound that happens to us. It actually can happen in a way where it's really stored in our brain and then in our body. And it is kind of like breaking a leg. So if you break your leg, you go to the doctor and you get a cast and you rest it and rest the leg and allow the bone to heal again. Now, trauma is a similar type of thing. It is actually something that needs to be healed. And one of my favorite definitions of trauma is too much, too fast, too soon. It's like when our system is just overloaded with something and it's just too much information for us to deal with in the moment. And what happens is we can't process it and store it like we do a regular memory. We can't sort of heal it, and we can't kind of heal it in the moment. It's too much for us to carry. And what actually happens is it gets stored as a fragmented memory in our hippocampus. Our regular memories are usually 5 sensory memories. Like if you think back to a memory of when you're a child, possibly at a family picnic, you might be able to remember the smell of freshly cut grass and sort of like lying down on your grandmother and tasting watermelon and have all of these sensory cues in the memory. With a traumatic memory, it is actually stored as a fragment. So you only have pieces of it. You might just have like the body sensation and something related to the body sensation, like the smell of cut grass. Could be, if you experience something that was really frightening to you around the smell of cut grass. The smell of cut grass could bring up an entire body sensation that is like the sensation that was overwhelming and probably put you in some kind of fear state or shutdown state when you experience this. So what happens with trauma responses and what happens with trauma is that it builds up over time. Okay, so we have these things from childhood all the way into the present, and that can come up for various different reasons where because we get this trigger and it makes no sense to us psychologically. We might think that there's something wrong with us and it's actually the trauma that is pulling up this experience in our body to be healed. So one of the questions is, how do we heal it? So when we get flooded with an emotion or get flooded with something that has no origin, a lot of times it can be an actual trauma response. So today I'm going to give you a little tip on how something, food and smell, and can heal your trauma. So two of the approaches for healing trauma. One is cognitive, like head down approach. Another is a body up approach. So we're going to talk about, I almost want to leave you with both, but I'm going to talk about how using food and your relationship with food to heal your trauma. So if you're feeling flooded, one thing that you can actually do to heal and process the trauma in the moment, okay, is to, you know, when you're feeling flooded, what's actually going on in your brain, you're gonna have like the amygdala that's kind of like all flared up, and like, and you want to, you know, be more in your prefrontal cortex, which is like where creativity lives and visioning and imagination and all of this. And this space is better able to deal with a trauma response. So one trick to get you from a flooded sort of fight or flight state in your amygdala into your prefrontal cortex is to close your eyes and imagine a lemon in front of you. So imagine the lemon, and you can do it right now if you want. You can close your eyes and imagine a lemon in front of you, kind of see it. Maybe it's got a little water beads on it and a little water kind of dripping down. See the yellowness of the rind. And I want you to go in your head, and I want you to take a knife and cut the lemon in half. Okay? And then I want you to bring it up to your mouth, all of this in your mind, bring it up to your mouth and take a bite. Now, how does it taste? Tart, right? Can you taste the tartness, kind of the back of your, can you like have that sense almost of tartness? Right now, I bet you're producing more saliva and experiencing, you know, that kind of like funky thing in the back that at least happens with me with tartness, feeling that because of your how vivid your imagination is imagining the lemon in front of you and taking a bite. When you're doing all of this, you're actually pulling the blood flow into your prefrontal cortex and giving yourself more resources to deal with these feelings that are coming up in your body. Now, I want you to close your eyes and imagine a sundae in front of you, and like imagine like sort of like a brownie, like a, you know, like a brownie, a warm brownie with like a scoop of ice cream on top. So it's like the brownie's all warm and melty and gooey. There's ice cream on top, and I want you to imagine taking a spoon and taking a bite of that brownie and really feeling that in your mouth. It's another way to use your mind to bring up a, you know, use your mind to get you more into your prefrontal cortex and more into a sensory experience. And what's really interesting about 5 sensory experiences is that you can use your mind to get you there, and you can also just become more aware of your surroundings or smell, actually like smell things. All of this stuff helps to bring you more present into the moment, to be able to be in your body in the moment and not be in your past, which kind of happens with trauma memories. And once you're kind of in this state of a little bit more calm down, you can take a few deep breaths. Maybe 5 deep breaths. Well, that was 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And if you just keep on breathing, breathe deeply, let your belly really get out, and breathe deeply. Feel more of your body, feel more of your breath. That's going to start to create more of calm sensation within your body. Trust me, this is something you can practice with time, okay? And the cool thing about this combo is the second part, breath, Sometimes it's hard for people to go to breath first, but the second part, using the first part and then going into your body using breath, your vagus nerve is actually stimulated by deep breathing, and it stimulates more of a parasympathetic response in your body. It's a more relaxed response to bring down your nervous system and bring more calm into your nervous system from this trauma that you experienced before that hasn't been completely processed yet. And you're actually processing and calming as you do this. Little bits at a time, increments at a time. These can seem like little simple tools, maybe a little bit silly. They were actually given to me by a woman who has a PhD in trauma healing, and can be very, very effective. So that is what I wanted to share with you today, my gift to you today. Wishing you sending lots of compassion and love your way for all the feels that we experience. Some of them can be so overwhelming sometimes. And wishing you lots of love and goodness. If you're interested in more videos, please subscribe, because I have all different fun videos on an assortment of topics, a lot about making your relationships really great, and just feeling great too. You know, you can get into a cycle, feeling great, creating great relationships, having great relationships, create more great feelings. And if you want to learn more about me, you can go to CarrieMargaret.com. Hope you have a wonderful day. Love you.